Okay, folks, expected painting session here on Thursday. Let's get things hooked up and we'll get rolling here. Get the computer fired up. Kind of unexpected. Unexpected. We'll fire this thing up and read your comments here as they come up. Easier to see on here than on the computer, on the phone screen that I'm filming through. Let's go ahead and flip this thing around. And let's bring this up so we can have it. I don't know how long I'll be on here, but I'd hope to think at least 30 minutes, so we need to make the best of it. And bam, there we go. All right. 6:30, almost 6:30, Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Spearman. Papal Spearman. Yesterday we left off because I did not know, well, I did know the address of where it had the little papal banners, but I couldn't remember it. So I'm going to go on here. I believe I posted it here in the comments from the video yesterday. So let me find that, and then I'll paste it on my computer and go there, because these guys are definitely going to have a papal motif on their shields, and I believe that's what I'm going to start off with. I'm going to start off with doing the motif on them. So this would have been Wednesdays, and somewhere down here in the comments, here it is. Now let's see if I can highlight this and then paste it in my address bar. It's super, super long. I don't like to type these things by hand that have all these strange characters, because invariably you're going to end up missing one. Oh, let's create another window and put it on there. There we go. This is through Web Archive. And okay, it works. Perfect. And I believe it is under the heading of Medieval and Renaissance. And under condottieri and Italian city-states, there is a listing for flags of the papal state. Come on. Flags of the papal state. Okay, perfect. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to have a split. It's a red background, and it's going to have a white vertical. It's going to be split in half, split into quarters, and then we're going to have a single key in each one of the quarters. Okay? And looks like the keys all face one direction. Okay, perfect. So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's get our red going. Painting the shields. Of course, we're going to do one. On the off chance that I don't like how it turned out, I don't want to overly commit. And the next thing you know is you have all these shields that don't look like you want them to look like, and you wasted your time. Even though I take forever to paint, I do value my time. So if I can avoid wasting time, that's better. That means more painting I can do. All right, we got this. We have some red still there. I'm not sure if it's alive. We need to poke it and make sure it's still kicking there. Do we have some water left? We do. Let's go ahead and just get rid of this extra water. Lift the corner here and just pour this right on the... All right. Okay. Yeah, this red is Well, there's some sign of life there. We're just going to start from scratch. Hello. Dust, no doubt. All right, we got some red there. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint this entire shield red. Okay? But in order to do that, we're going to need our buddy over here to darken this up. And you can see this is a different color red than the other one that's beside it. It's a little bit more orange. Even though this one's just called red, and the other one I believe is called flat red. The cross in the other unit was done with the other red, so I want to mix up the red colors a little bit. That just adds a little bit of variety, and that way, you know, these are not painted in some kind of a factory setting, so I don't mind introducing those aspects of maybe amateurism when you're looking at maybe how some of these guys are equipped, because it's not like it's a heavily industrialized fashion that these forces were equipped in. I'm going to go ahead and while the first one's drying, I'm going to go ahead and paint all of them. It's not like I'm going to change my mind and not do red shields. Okay, so that's not going to be the case. Let's just go ahead and knock that out. Got to do it anyways. I gotta wait for them to. I should have put more of this stuff on here. Oh, and I guess we need to go back to the other screen. There we go. All right. Maybe got on here too early. Everybody's still at work. Maybe not. Well, I was going to do my workout, but I'm like, let me go ahead and just do this first. I don't want to get into the... I'm too tired to get any painting done. I want to knock these guys out. I want to have these 4 spearmen done by the end of the weekend. So when the weekend rolls around, we can start working on something else. So when the end of the weekend comes around, we'll work on something else. Still, we'll have to do 2 units of crossbowmen, a fast horde, and the Pope. I feel like I'm missing something. 2 knights, got it. A unit of spearmen, that's 3. The Saloy, that's 3 more, so now we're up to 6. This spearman is 7, and then I've got 3 left. So what am I missing? Oh, a unit of blade, which I've already painted. He's in my Russian army. It's a unit of blade for, they're going to be German knights. They're already done. That's what I forgot. Yeah, we'll leave the Pope for last because he's going to take a while to do, but he's going to be awesome. We got big plans for him. That's going to be a crowded stand. You know, a lot of folks on that stand. At least 7? I'm gonna have 4 guards on there, a guy kneeling down, and the Pope, and another figure behind the Pope. Oh, and the guy that keeps people from getting to the Pope, the gatekeeper. So what is that? 4? Now maybe I won't be able to use 4 guards. 4, the Pope, the gatekeeper, the guy kneeling. That's 7 right there. It's going to be 7 or 8 figures. So on a 40 by 40 stand. So it's going to be crowded. It'll be cool. It's got to look like there's a lot of folks on there. That thing fights like a blade stand. So you got to give it some oomph. Looking at it like it's got some oomph there. That's a litter, of course, is what we're talking about. Chamberlain, I think is what I was looking for. I don't know, the gatekeeper that says, or the Pope will see you now. You know, the guy that's keeping all the things, the chief of staff guy. Yeah, he's going to be on there. Now, that's just me brainstorming what it is. Okay, so now we're done with all four of these and the base red color on them. So the next thing we're going to do is let's bring it up. I don't want to. I don't want to just put the white now because that means that the color around it might be too dark, and I'll run into an issue where it looks like there's too much of a black line around it. So let's just let's haphazardly kind of bring this up some to about there, as opposed to. Hold on, it'd be nice if I could hold this. Okay. So let's just do that. Leaving the best part for doing the best part first. Yeah. I generally leave the more complicated things last. It's almost kind of like I have to earn them in an army. I did do an exception when I was doing my Armenians. I was having such a hard time trying to get these plain looking Armenian figures painted that I went ahead and did the royalty first. I went ahead and did the king and his nobles and all that kind of stuff on their cataphract horses and went about it that way. But that may be the only time I've ever done that. I needed to break the painter's block that I was having with them. But generally, I leave the fancy guys for last. I got home, got a little bit of things to eat. I watched a bid that I was watching. I sniped it, not because I don't want to pay more money, but I don't want to think something's mine for, and then it isn't. I won the bid, and now I'm here at your service. Yeah, I don't ever, if I'm doing stuff on eBay, I don't do much on it. I'll either do buy it now or I snipe it. I don't like have the high bid for freaking 7 days and then the last 15 seconds lose it. I'd rather not think it's even mine or even bid on it. And it's not to save money, it's just annoying, you know? So, all right. Because no matter what it is, somebody will look at your price. It's been on there for a while, and they'll say, "Oh, well, I'll just do 50 cents more than what he did." And like no, you got to go like, you got to go up like 10% of the value of the price or whatever, or you won't get it. Or at the end of the day, it's like it wasn't for me. It's not like my life depended on it or anything. So. I wanted to get a watch band for this watch. I collect used watches, I guess. I like Swiss Army watches, but I like this particular model that isn't made anymore. It's just kind of a simple watch. I have a few of them, and I bought it. I bought this one. I think this was like under $30 when I got it, and it works fine. I've had it. I don't know, 8 years or something like that, maybe. And I bought it already with some scratches on it, and that way I don't mind getting a few more to work and stuff like that. But I had to replace the strap on it, and I bought this by this company called this aftermarket company. I want to say it's called Archer or something like that. They're pretty crappy. I had to modify it to get it to work. You supposedly have these little pins, and you pull it apart, and you can slide them in there, and I don't know, they're like $7 or something like that. And I got this probably like 4 years ago. So I saw a watch band that's actually the original one for this particular model watch. This is like a, I'm going to say like 120, $130 watch originally when it was made. At least $100. I'm not going to pay that. And certainly not take it to work and get scratches on it and I'm worried about it. I mean, I try to take care of things, but stuff happens, I don't ever see, well, I don't want one, but like having an Apple Watch or something like that because it's an expensive piece of whatever it is, and you're inadvertently, without wanting to, gonna damage it. I'm careful with my phone. This phone that things are being filmed with, and it gets scratches on, and it just goes in and out of my pocket. I mean, it's not like I'm playing, hacky sack with it or something like that. Stuff happens. So, if you're going to get scratches, I don't want to throw a lot of money at it because it just kind of, you feel bad that you can't take care of things if you use them. Inadvertently, something's going to happen. But anyway, so I was going to buy a new strap for this watch, and I see that somebody on eBay was selling it for $25, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend $25 on a strap when it costs as much as the damn watch. So I'm going to keep going with this. But I saw another watch that I liked, and I grabbed it for under $50. It's a similar style, but it has the rotating bezel that you can tell where time is. I use that a lot. I just don't happen to have a watch right now that has, like when you go to lunch, you just rotate it, like you put it on the minute hand, like, okay, I went to lunch here, so that you don't have to remember, well, when did exactly did I go to lunch? On a work day, So, anyhow. So, I'm not one of those people that buys $400 or $500 watches. I couldn't live with myself if I got a scratch on it. And, it happens just using it. And there's no point in buying it if you're not going to use it. So, I kind of split the difference. So anyway, so I've got a couple of these and I replaced the batteries on them, and they're pretty rock solid. They're pretty rock solid. I know that there's a style of Timex watch that I like as well, but man, they want those things like they're more expensive than these. And it's just a Timex watch, it's not Swiss made or anything. So anyhow, I digress. That's my watch dissertation for today. But yeah, I got this guy that I work with, and he showed me his watch. And I think it was either a Samsung or an Apple Watch. And I was like, holy crap, how did you bring that here? It's all like scratched up. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, I couldn't live with myself if that happened. I'm, stuff happens, but you still want to take, like if you have a car, you go and you park the heck away from people. You got to make it difficult for somebody to come find you. And I'm not driving Lamborghinis or anything like that, but it's your car. You got to avoid those little scratches and stuff like that on there if you can, and they still come and find you. Somebody will come and somebody will still come and find you and mess your stuff up, but. Try to be careful when I can, because you spend your good hard-earned money on it. You want to be careful with it. All right, so we're going to drop a cross on here. And this one doesn't have to be very thick. And let me see about where it is on the other thing. I want to say this one's kind of towards the middle. Yes, we're going to have this one right through the middle of where it is. So on the other one that we did like almost like the top third. Okay, this one we're going to drop it a little bit more so that we have all the quarters be a little bit more equal. Just something like that. Okay. And each one of these quarters is going to have a key. But the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that they're kind of You don't want to make one that's too big, so you need to pace yourself. So the problem with the key is going to be is if you drop the line at the bottom of the key, it's going to have a little circle on it. So we want to make sure that we get that the correct size, because otherwise it's going to throw everything off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 little circles, okay, and then we'll extend the top portion of the key from that, okay. And I'm having second thoughts about using this brush because this brush has seen better days. And this is my best brush at the time. I think we're going to have to get a new recruit. We're going to have to get a new recruit because this is where we're doing something that's really, really detailed. So let's open up another one of these pack of these Chinese damn things and see if we find a candidate in there. Got to use these things up so we never have to buy them again. I think one of these will probably do just fine. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and open them both up and dump them in my pile of brushes. So I was originally buying these, I forget what brand they originally were. I think they were Full Art from Walmart. And you could get like 10 brushes for like $3.97 or something like that. And they were pretty decent because you could look at them and say, okay, I like this pack or I don't like this pack. But then Walmart pissed me off a few years ago. No big loss. So I ended up getting these at Hobby Lobby, and there were a few less brushes and a few more. They were like, I think I had the price on, like $6.99, but you could get a buy one get one free type of coupon thing on them. So let's get rid of some of these big nasty things. And oh man, I got 2 brush things. Holy crap! I'm out of control, man. Certainly, let's find a candidate here that we can work with for this. So then I started getting them from Hobby Lobby, and I bought a couple of these, and they worked fairly well. But you know, the pandemic thing hit afterwards, and now anything that's made in that country is on my no buy list. So I won't be buying any more of these. I had half of mine just to throw them away, but you know, I did spend money on them, unfortunately, so we won't be buying any more. So the next ones I got to get are now going to be like $25 for 10. You know, I think the next cheapest ones I can find are like made in Germany. So, I don't know, I'm not really sold that this is. Well, I'm just rambling today. Well, I'm not leaving and doing something else, so I guess that's successful. And at least 3 of you guys are entertained or have nothing better to do. Welcome, welcome. Thanks. Hi. An unexpected painting session here on Thursday evening. I don't know how long we're going to be on here, but maybe we can get these little shields done. Let's try some of this and see if we can't get some of this muck off. This stuff works pretty well for getting paint off, but it doesn't reshape the brushes. I don't care if you use it like pomade and leave them overnight and reshape them. It doesn't work. Once these cheap ass brushes start getting a little curve in them, it's over. You know, but that's why they're so cheap. You know, they work great other than that. You know, they just don't retain their shape. So I would get a Winsor & Newton one if there was a place here in town where you could walk up, inspect them, and get one. But buying one sight unseen on the internet just doesn't sound like a winning proposition. Look at that. I think we got it back in servicing order, even though we did a ramble. All right, where the hell was I? We're going to put little circles on these things. Got it. So I was saying, I don't know if it's a little earlier, everybody's still at work, or what have you. You guys just eating dinner. Try to do it a little earlier. Maybe we can get some of those UK people in here. The Europeans. People from the land of toys and the land of beer. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, we got to draw 4 little circles, and they're towards the bottom of here. So we're just going to go. No, it's not gliding really well on this. And that's not going to work really well if that's not the case. We need to do that first because we need to leave some meat, as I like to call it, some red between it and the crossbar. I'll show you guys what I get this. And this isn't going to be the final thing, so it's not a big deal. Okay. Which way are the things going? I believe they're going to the right. They could go towards either one. Well, okay. So let's go ahead and put this thing's not behaving well. Almost like I didn't rinse the stuff off of it, but I know I did. All right, let's put a vertical. The vertical does not go into the circle. Get them all about the same size. And then we'll add a few little teeth. Okay. So this is the symbol that all of them are going to have. All right. And obviously this is the first color. We're going to have some brighter white on there, obviously. All right. Let's go and do the next one. And it doesn't have to look perfect. I mean, look, these things were hand painted and they had really, really bad brushes back then. Unless, unless your name was Michelangelo and he hadn't been invented yet, so. This is 200 to 300 years before his time. So let's make sure we get the right halfway point here. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
You gonna do your own thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moment to.
She told me where she was going. Okay. All good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's the painting?
Papal spearman. Spearman for the Pope.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Love you.
Okay.
That's the Deuter. Okay. Let's just mix up a new batch. Something's going on with this and me no happy. That's better. It's almost like it's acting soapy over here. I don't really know what's going on. Maybe I didn't clean the brush well. It's got the right shape though, so that fixed it. All right. So, okay, let's do 4 little circles. And then the verticals. Come on, focus. 2 down. Some people will be like, man, I hate doing that shield. This is the fun part right here. I know lots of people that are scared of this. I find it very forgiving. But you have to break things down into basic shapes. You can't just like do the whole key. I mean, like, okay, what's it break down in? Like, okay, I could do a circle and get it relatively circular. Okay, I could do a vertical thing and get that kind of right. So let's draw little circles here. Like we're losing paint. Let's bring this up. Yes.
Can I grab something?
Sure.
I'm not on camera, am I?
Sure, baby.
I'm not on camera, am
You're not on camera, no. Okay, let's do our 4 little circles here.
I?
Love you, baby. And do our verticals. And if you got one of these, like for instance, like this one down here, that the circle isn't very well formed, you can come in afterwards and do a darker color and fill that in. So, pretty easy to do. So, Stephen Curry, yo, Stephen, Stephen Curry from New York. Yo, I just got DBA 3251. Other hoplite armies from Essex. Not that I need it anymore. Nice. Not that you need it anymore. Hoplite armies are fun. I think they're pretty much useful in any environment. They may not, some of them may not have a lot of different tricks up their sleeve, but they got good solid numbers. Spearmen can do just fine against pretty much all opponents. Certainly more in 3.0 than they did in 2.2, because in 2.2, spearmen would get quick killed by elephants, but blades didn't. And blades would get shot at bows as a 5 in defense, and a spearman would be a 4. So it was like blades were a lot more useful than spearmen, but 3.0, the balance is a little bit better. Okay. People looking good. We'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to getting these guys done. I've got to hop on that Book 1 army. I've got to hop on them. And I don't want to leave these guys half finished, but I will do that if I have to. Because we got to get them done for the show. We got to get them done. The show's at the end of September, and they're going to take, that's 3 weeks in September, and it's going to take at least 3 weeks in August to get them done. So first week of August rolls around, and I still am not done with the Papal Army. I've got to cut and run. I got to start working on the Amorites, because the Amorites, I need them for the show to play in one of the events for sure. So, in the Bronze Age beatdown. That's going to be, all armies have to be 12 before 1200 BC. So, lots of armies that fall into that. Just kind of some basic shapes there. And we'll clean that up with the other colors. Now, we're going to go ahead and do the red, and we're going to finish the red all the way, and then we'll come back and do the white all the way to the top. All right? And I'm painting really thin, so if something goes sideways, I can just repaint over it. I mean, I don't want to because it's just kind of a waste of time, but you're doing 11th century pre-feudal Scots soon. You're gonna beat me to them. Looks like a fun army. Fast spear, cool. Wow, you own nothing before 1200 BC. I don't either. Painted. Painted. I don't own it. I don't own anything. All right, so where's the red we were working on? And it was over here. But that's the whole point: is run an event armies you don't have forces you to build armies for it. That's how it should work, anyhow. But yeah, I used to buy a lot on eBay. I don't anymore. Um, I've sold a lot more than I bought because all my old collections were on eBay. I probably will never sell anything on eBay again. I just don't have that many things I want to sell, and I don't want to go through the. I don't mind ordering things and have them mailed to me. I do not want to go to the post office. That is an unhappy place. And I can only do it on my lunch break, and that's, I call that holy hour. You know, where it's, you do something that's not stress related. And going to the post office and having to deal with all the drama that goes on there and the inefficient waiting is like, that's not how I want to spend my time. So, I guess I could go on Saturday mornings too, but nah, I'm not going to go to the post office. So, I thought it would be better with this bigger brush, but maybe that's not the case. Because all I'm going to do is avoid this stuff I just painted. I'll show you after I'm done. So I've sold a lot on eBay, not in a while. Um, I've I've only had one experience that was bad. I'm trying to think if I had a second one. I think it's only been one, and it was this guy that I bought a model tank from. And it was listed as a new tank, and then when I got it, it wasn't new. It was still an unbuilt kit, but there was no decals. So I'm like trying to contact the guy, and I've contacted him for like a freaking week, or I don't know. You have a limited amount of time to dispute your sale, and it was getting to the end of it, and I finally just had to. He wouldn't respond to my. He wouldn't respond to any of my emails. I didn't want my money back. I want him to give me the decals or whatever for it. And he never responded until I filed a complaint, and then he's like, all you had to do is contact me. And he literally, his message said, eat the negative feedback. So from then on, I'm like, well, now they redid their system. They redid their system where I don't know how it is. It's really hard to get bad feedback or something. But this was a while ago. This might have been 15, maybe even 20 years ago that I got this. But I remember him saying, eat the negative feedback. And I'm like, dude, you're the one that screwed me. So from then on, if I sell anything on eBay or whatever, my rating is relatively, it's at 100%, but it's high enough that I don't need other sales to kind of people to prove that I'm not, not going to pay for something or not send them something. So now I just wait to send people feedback until they give it to me. And I hate doing that, but I have to because I'm not going to be like, eat the negative feedback, It's like, oh, great. Thanks for poisoning my whole experience, but I don't know what my rating is, 400, something like that. I had more than 400 sales, a lot of repeat buyers, but okay, anyways, let me show you how this is. Okay, still looks kind of crude. We're getting there, so let's just do the same thing on the next shield. I've taken a risk that I'm going to like how it turns out. But yeah, I'll never forget that. Eat the negative feedback. All you got to do is respond to your emails, pal. You know, it's not like I emailed him one day, he didn't get back to me, and that's it, I'm going to report him. In retrospect, I didn't even need the decals, but something happened. That was probably like, I'm going to say 15 years ago. Something happened maybe 10 years ago where they reset everybody's scores. And if you had any negatives, they weren't there anymore. And I don't exactly know what the criteria is for it because I don't sell on there. I probably haven't sold on eBay in easily 15 years. But, you know, I had like that one negative thing from somebody, you know, say, eat the negative feedback, and I'm the buyer. And that's gone now too. So I don't know exactly what they did, but I rarely use it for anything. Things are generally overpriced on there anyways. It's great if you want to find something that's not made anymore, but or you know, like a used watch or something like that. So here's another one. Let's put them over here. Good afternoon. Hello again, Slot Car Kevin. How are you? It's the nicest thing you've been called all day. You haven't checked out any diecast racing, have you? That's uh, that's some crazy stuff, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. The land of no humidity where you're at. Maybe there's some, but that killed me when I went to Colorado several years ago, and it was just so dry. I mean, it's better. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's better than Florida. It was better because it was like in the 40s. Like it never. Let's see, we went over in March, and it went somewhere between say like 30 and like 50 something throughout the day. We spent all day outside, and you know, you put on clean clothes, you know, and you come back at the end of the day after being outside all day long, and your clothes still smelled like clean laundry. If you do that here in the same temperatures and go and say take out the garbage, and I live in a suburban neighborhood, so you know I'm talking about like walking say 75 feet and then walking back 75 feet. I come back in and I smell like a shrimp salad. And that's even in like 50-degree weather. So like weather that's not hot, just the smell of the humidity or whatever, it's a horrible smell. You know, I don't know what it is about it, but and it does go away after a while, but it just smells like shrimp. You know, I don't know what it is, but you don't get that in Colorado. I'm sure not in Arizona as well, but that whole you got to drink 24 ounces of water, even though you're not thirsty every hour. You get a massive migraine. You can have that. I can't deal with migraines. It's now monsoon season. What? You crazy man? Is that one of those Pacific storms that comes in, rolls in from California, brings you water? I don't know. Monsoon season. One extreme to the other. No rain for a long time. Then all of a sudden, oh, too much rain, too much rain, too much rain. Floods and causes all kinds of chaos, maybe. Well, hopefully you're doing okay in that. It rained like for a whole freaking month here. And I mean, I don't mean just the afternoon showers that we frequently get. I mean like it rained every single day. Like every single day was a rainy day for 3 weeks for sure, and it flooded so. And then we had the extra rain that came from that storm that was a non-event. We didn't even lose power or anything. I didn't even see that it got even windy one time, and it came nearby us, but that extra little rain ended up flooding a lot of stuff. I mean, not here and not in my neighborhood, but roads that you use to go to and from work and stuff like that ended up getting flooded. A couple of the neighborhoods that are notorious flooders. I mean, we're in the high ground. I mean, where I live is we're over 110 feet over sea level, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's a high spot in Florida. Believe me, it's not the highest spot, but it's higher than most places. But still, if you've got drainage issues, it doesn't matter how high up you are. You're still gonna have drainage issues, and it's gonna flood out your property. But we didn't have any of that here in our neighborhood. We just had it connecting to the neighborhood, so it was challenging to come home from work a couple of days. Let's put it that way. I'm just fortunate that we didn't live in one of those places that were affected by that. There's one neighborhood in particular that has a little dip at the entrance to it. Um, and the year of the hurricanes, the year that we got two hurricanes that crisscrossed through here, didn't do any damage, or wind or anything like that. 2004, it rained. They got so much rain that it flooded their little entrance road into an area that was probably, I don't know, maybe 100 feet across, and it was about 5 feet deep. And I remember somebody drove a Honda Pilot SUV into there, and they killed it right there. The water went over the window, the doors where the windows slide down, and just stalled it right there. And there it sat for a week until it receded enough for them. I'm sure that car was totaled, but I'll never forget that. You know, well, but that's one particular neighborhood that those people couldn't get in and out. And there was like a side access road, and there's a guy that there was a big to do where there's an altercation where the guy wouldn't let him cut through their property, and they had to call the cops. And just that's the problem when you've got these natural disasters. How people act around other people in that environment is worse, that I think, than what the actual Mother Nature does to it. Like, oh, there's a hurricane coming, and really, hurricanes don't do anything here. We're in the center of the state. I mean, yeah, the power could go out for, I guess, worst case scenario, I don't know, 4 to 4 days. I mean, that's probably an extreme scenario. I don't know if that's ever happened that long since I've lived in town. I've lived here my entire life, basically. I think that the most would be like 2 days the power would go out. But it's just how people act. Well, there's a hurricane coming, and just people just go crazy. Like, they got to buy everything, like toilet paper, get every single piece of toilet paper, or push people out of the way, park on the sidewalks. I mean, just like if the end of the world is coming. It's like, geez, man, don't be such a dick. That's the worst part, is just other humans. So, been getting lots of rain, plenty of flooding because so many dead trees from fires. Yeah, one extreme to the other. Fires because not enough rain, and. Okay, so now we've got these four guys relatively in the same status with their shields. We're just going to keep going across them and bringing them up. 'Cause I want all those different shades in there so you can have that subtle shading. That's the kind of anal retentive I am. And then after we're done with this one, we'll add a little bit of white and bring that all the way up. Let's just do this raw red color here. We're probably ready for that as well. The other thing is, when I put colors down, I kind of water them down using this so they're more transparent, so that they'll blend smoother together. It's not like these harsh color lines between one color and another, which I don't necessarily mind. I've seen other people do it, and it kind of works, but When I first started doing this layering technique in the mid to late 90s, I was using like 7 or 8 shades per color. I mean, we were here like all freaking day long trying to do that stuff. So I've cut it down some because there's a point of diminishing returns. Come on. And obviously the keys, everything you see in gray there will be brought up all the way to white. But you want that under layer on there to give it a little oomph. So, well, you may not want to. I do. You know, as I like to say, I'm not telling everybody you need to paint this way. It's, you do what it's do what you want. I believe in freedom. So, you want to paint your papal troops pink? Go right ahead. They're your troops. You won't fight any worse. And as long as you paint them better than Picasso would, you're good. Which isn't saying a whole lot. Not a Picasso fan, sorry. What? You like them? That's fine. Definitely not the best Spanish painter in my book. Not even close. Oh, we need to move you guys a little bit further in if you're going to misbehave and fall off my table. Actually, one thing we're going to do is before I add the top layer of red with a little bit of white, I'm going to bring the inside of the keys and everything all the way up. And then I can see how much of that I want to dial in. Because I may not want to add any to it. It might just look just fine the way it is. Okay. All right. Let's see get as much of this red that I can off. And that's just too darn wet in that spot. I'll see somewhere in between, and then we'll do the pure white on top of that. Let's do the next guy. One day left, folks. One day left. And the weekend's here. TGI Friday, it's not until about this time tomorrow. Not first thing in the morning. Friday mornings are a pain in the ass. Everybody's waiting till the last minute. Oh, I need this. Where you been all week, dude? Never like to go out on Friday night. I'm burned out from the week, just from working. Okay. Should turn out good enough. Good morning, Australian Greg. You'll be able to watch for a while as Lorraine's in the shower before breakfast. This is the last, so is this the last solo figure? No, we're done with those boogers. Yes, boogers, not buggers. These little insignificant little folks. Yep. I've not sealed them yet. This is along with the spearmint. I haven't sealed them yet because I may tinker with them some. But we're doing the other unit of the spearmint. You realize that a whole lot of your schedule revolves around your availability of when your wife's not, leaving you alone. So I just figured I'd just comment on that. Mine is too. My wife's not available, not right now. So I'm over here painting in the room, Um, oh man, all good stuff. What is? Yeah, maybe I did do that one already. I did. Okay, perfect. That's what we're doing right now. Is we're doing the detail on the shields of these papal troops. So we're bringing them up. We've already kind of done the red, and we're going to work everything around them. These guys are mainly going to have a white overcoat, so it'll contrast with the red nicely. We don't want, having a red overshirt or anything like that because it's just going to just blah and blend together. So. Now, we're going to try using pure white now, or damn near pure white. How about that? Now, the problem is sometimes if this gets too moist, it'll start separating the pigment away from the water, and you'll get this piece of where the paint is. You'll have one part that's drier and one of them that's too wet, and that's kind of what's happening right now. So let's try to get that under control a little bit. I'm kind of stressed out about this right this moment, which is kind of unusual. Maybe I've got too much jewelry on. Is that what it is? I just jumped on here. I did not do my, or as the one guy says, you're wearing 2 wedding rings. Nope, just one. Get used to wearing jewelry, then you can't go anywhere. Just one on each ring finger. I don't have pinky rings or anything like that. I'm not part of the mob. Oh, yeah, you get used to wearing stuff, and then when you don't have it on, you're like, you feel naked. There. Maybe I just didn't have this well rested on the. I paint resting this on the table. I honestly don't know how some people paint what I like to call in midair, not rested on anything. Um, that would just be very precarious for me. Let's see what we got here. That's about as good as it's going to get. I'm really happy with that. I may not lighten up that red any. Maybe I will do it a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with that. All right. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe this is all just out of whack. There we go. Yeah, I've got my table, which isn't really expensive, but I want to take care of it, and I've got one of these clear, like office mats that's rubberized over that. Then I've got this cutting thing that I never cut on, and then I got a piece of cardboard. So I'm this is like wearing six condoms. Yeah, I want to take care of things. This cutting mat, I never even bought. They gave it to me from work, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. I got a use for this. I'll take it home. But these things are expensive. They're like $30 or something like that. And I didn't pay a dime for it, but I still gonna take care of it. Maximilian. That's right. You sound like the. Welcome again. You are the. I think last time you were here, it's like, hey, your name sounds like somebody that 007 fights. Long time no see. Yeah, there you go. It's. Oh look, it's my favorite hair. If you were a evil genius, you could have millions minions. Oh, we could do this all day, couldn't we? Welcome back. All right, let's do all the keys over here. This is the hardest part, is this little circle, because we got to make sure that this brush is sliding on it, not like catching it. That's what causes issues to happen. Not that I can't fix it, but it takes time. All right, something ain't right. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. All right. One day closer to potentially streaming in better quality through my computer. Once we get the cable modem fixed. ditch this 20-year-old DSL technology. Then I'm going to have to watch videos on what kind of equipment I need to film properly. I'm really happy with that. So I'm really happy with that. What I miss? I tried out Army Painter Vallejo, indeed, and they would paint all my miniatures. That's right. That's right. If they did it wrong, you would just, throw them in the shark pit, right? Oh man. I keep telling my daughter, we got to go through all the 007s. We've seen a couple of them, but when she was younger. Now she's 16. Now she's probably gonna think, they're all dorky, but she's seen a couple of them. I grew up with Roger Moore, so I prefer those movies. So, and yes, they're dorky. They're all dorky, but that's classic stuff. All those feathers that he still can't fly. Oh man. What do we got here? Pay on membership. At least you're using pennies for your bases. Yeah, I don't have a use for anything else. Since America's inflation is so high, it's good that we're burning a bit of money. Is it so high? I think that it just has been non-existent for so long. So, yeah. Gotta go now, Tony. Get breakfast ready. Catch you later. Okay. Well, if you're making breakfast, have Lorraine come in here. She can hang out with me. I don't remember the last time I paid with something with cash. So, also, I gotta go. Okay, well, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I use cash all the time, but I use electronic currency. I don't go and go to an ATM or anything like that. It's a pain. I'm not worried about dirty money or anything. It's a pain to get more money or, change. What the hell do you do with change? You got to go debate with somebody that the Duke of Wellington is clearly better than Napoleon. Well, is he? How about that you like how about you like the guy who plays I can't this is happening more and more. I can't think of people's names, but I don't think about them all day long. But that you think that the guy who played Wellington's a better actor than the guy who played Napoleon, which I agree with. I like whatever that Canadian guy's name is. I can't think of what it is. I like him. I need to catch him. He apparently did, and I don't remember what it's called. He did a relatively recent movie where he plays. Of course, he just passed away. This last year? I can't believe I don't remember what his name is. But anyhow, he played the Kaiser, and he played the Kaiser in a movie like he's. I forget exactly what it is, but he plays it like during World War II. When he's kind of on house arrest in Holland or whatever. And it looked like that'd be a good movie. I don't remember what the hell it's called. I think I saw it was available on Amazon or something like that. But there he is, Marty. Marty, you coming next week? Or is it week after next? Or is it next week? I don't know. think it is. Yeah, I'm getting really bad with names. Well, I'm getting bad with stuff that I'm not rehearsing all the time or thinking about all the time. So, is everybody going to make Monday's game? Well, Mitch and I will be there. This is driving me crazy. I got to figure out what it is. Christopher Plummer. Okay, you can go debate that you like Christopher Plummer better than Rod Steiger. I certainly do. I've only seen that movie one time. That was enough. It's just not my period, you know. I've only seen Gettysburg one time. It's not my period, you know. And I don't enjoy watching things over and over again because there's new things I could be watching instead of rehashing something old. Yeah, I don't know who's coming on Monday. They usually don't. I ask, and then people are very non-committal until the last minute. I say you don't run it and show up and play blind general. You haven't had a chance to play that, or have you? No, I don't think you played it. No, I think there's going to be enough people. I think Joe's going to try to make it. So that makes 5. Scott's making it. That's 6. And just a matter of if Luke makes it. It's always a wild card for the final chapter in the War of the Roses. It will not turn out like it did historical, because I don't know if there's any Yorkists left. Okay, this one's done. We got one left. Yeah. Jason and I will be there. Need Luke and Scott. Yeah. Not my turn to watch him. Luke's always a wild card. I think you have a higher chance of Joe being there than Luke. I'm not saying Luke won't be there, but If Luke comes, I hope he can keep it under a case of beer this time. Oh, man. I'll have to ask Mitchell how much did Luke, when Luke was underage, how much he drank. I don't know how he could have drank more. Pickled Luke. Okay. Now, all these guys, let's knock these guys off. Let's knock these guys off to a little pedestal. These guys are done, so we don't need to look at them anymore. Well, they're not sealed, but they're done. Just move them over here. And then we'll take a look at these 4 spearmen and see if there's some kind of consistency to look at their shields, because they don't have to be perfect, but they have to be, similar-ish. Let's see how these looked. No, I think it turned out pretty good. No, I'm going to leave them like that. I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to add any more. I can always do it towards the end. So, Yeah. You too can hand paint shields. All right. Oh, that guy's laid down at the job. He goes first. All right, I need to get another beverage. I'll be right back. Well, so if these guys have all papal shields, I got half a mind to just paint them all the same. Like, they were dressed by the Pope himself. Like, he had to pick what they were going to wear. So maybe we'll do that. That'll certainly speed up the process. Well, it'll make it a lot more boring for me because I'm painting one thing at a time, but it should be more time efficient. All right, let's try that. And if I don't like it, then I can always change my mind at any moment. So we said we were going to give them some kind of white vestment, so let's do off-white color. Maybe something like this that we can add white to. I know it's not very white. This is more of a cream color. Let's try. What do we got over here? This green gray should work. I don't know what green gray it has. You're watching BG4. Blind General 4. Some thoughts on throwing some curves in the game. You haven't even played the game yet. That was like Scott. Scott hadn't even had a chance to play the game yet. Maybe die roll determines standard game or collision course or blind setup or bring alley or some other optional. That's certainly interesting. That's certainly interesting. Somebody was saying that blind general takes longer. It does. I think collision course takes longer than blind general, just because of the game within the game of setting up your commands and all that kind of stuff. So we don't play on 30-inch boards much, even though we say we let the attacker pick. I think we haven't been very diligent with that lately. I mean, I prefer the game on a 24-inch board just from the standpoint of you could see around the board a little easier. You have to take the camera a little bit farther out of the way if you're going to, you have to zoom it out a little bit more if you're going to get on a 30 by 30, which means the miniatures look smaller and that's not as clear. But yeah, right now we're just kind of trying the blind channel to make sure that there aren't any too major wrinkles before we run it at recon. Although I'm pretty sure that Mitch and I are not going to play. We're going to just make sure everybody does it right because it's kind of a game within the game, and definitely not something that's set up for your first time playing DBA. So it's a kind of a game within the game sort of thing. So. But it shouldn't be too bad. Like I said, I think collision course takes longer than um, than blind general. I guess that's named. There's probably better names for it, but it's stuck now. It's blind general now. That's, it'd be like calling DBA something else. Well, it should have been called. Well, it's too late. It's everybody knows it as DBA. Everybody knows it as blind general. So you should have fair enough people to do for the grand finale. I have no idea who's the grand finale. I'd imagine one of them damn tutors. But Edward the Fourth is dead. There's a whole pile list of people that are dead, so it's going to be like a alternative universe. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint all these in a row, but we're going to paint them all the way up in a row. We're not going to do this first shade, do all of them with it, because one of the most annoying things for me is if I'm painting something to put it down and then go grab another one. Once I have it in my hand, I want to keep it in my hand. So it's clumsy doing that. I've done it before, and it's a pain. You know, you end up misgrabbing it or scuffing up something else or something. So we're going to go ahead and do these tunics all the way up to the final look before we move on to the next one. Yeah, we'll paint all three. We'll paint all four of these guys the same. See what it looks like. Worst case scenario, I'll just change some of the stuff on each one. But we definitely wanted their shields to be exactly the same. I think pretty happy with how that turned out. Uh-oh, what do we got here? Evening. When you guys going to finish the third War of the Roses game? We were just talking about that. It's tomorrow. It's Monday. It's Monday. That's the plan. Which means you guys probably won't see it until Tuesday. Usually it's about midday Tuesday, unless I've got to do a lot of editing like I had to do on Blind General 3. A lot of editing. I had to watch the whole darn thing again because that was that one had a lot of editing that I had to do to try to keep it PG-13. So that's the plan on Monday. That's what we're going to be doing. That should wrap that up. It will not turn out like it did historically. That's already not happened. So I'm surprised that we've done two of the War of the Roses battles. They've been out there for a while, and I haven't gotten any commentary on people rooting for one side or the other. And I know that people definitely have opinions on the British Isles, just like they have opinions of the Norman conquest. I mean, I guess there's a fair amount of people that don't care one way or the other because it really doesn't matter really that much, but they prefer one side over the other. I gotta check out one thing. Because it just heard a noise. Okay. The final 10 minutes here. We gotta go spend some time with people that don't paint. Whatever that means. But we got the 4 shields done, so that's not only did I get them done, I'm really happy with how they turned out. So, and once we get this guy done, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, we'll have a fast horde to do. Actually, I don't even have to do a fast horde because I have a slow horde. So I'm probably going to skip that only because I need to get the next army started. So we'll skip that. We'll do 2 crossbowmen. And so we do this, finish this unit of spearmen, do 2 crossbowmen, and then the Pope himself. And then we'll move to the Book 1 army because I got to get the Book 1 army done for Huracan. Have to. So, one of the events, I do not own a pre 1200 BC army, and those guys would fit the bill for that. So, that's kind of priority. Yeah, I could just use the slow horde or the solid horde, the slow horde as we like to call them, the solid horde. You know, the rest of the army is solid anyway, so it's not like they need to be out zipping out. And I just like that the fast horde is supposedly infuriated peasants, and that just sounds like, I like the sound of that. So anyhow, we're actually going to go ahead and wrap this up because no point in being in the middle of the next call or whatever. But hey, thanks for stopping by. It was a good hour and a half here, unexpected here on Thursday night. It's not normally a day that I normally paint, but got some extra stuff in here. And thanks for coming by, folks. And Friday night, I don't know if I'll be on Friday night. Definitely on Saturday morning and Sunday morning for the usual long painting sessions. And hope to get these 2 guys done by the end of the painting session on Sunday. Hope to get all 4 of these guys done, and we can cross another one off. So, but anyhow, we will catch you guys next time, and happy painting. See ya.